Wow, never a dull moment with Newcastle United. It's not even been a positive day, but it's been a busy one nonetheless. So the biggest piece of news concerns Newcastle United in a way, but it's obviously through another club. Steve Bruce has resigned from Sheffield Wednesday. Now, you can obviously put two and two together and get a nice round four. He's obviously resigning to the fact because he wants to be in charge of Newcastle United. Probably for the preseason friendly. Our preseason starts on Wednesday officially when we go over to China for this Premier League Asia Trophy, and we've got Wolves in the first game on Wednesday. So I'm assuming talks have been had. Otherwise, why would you be so hasty? You're at a club, you're getting paid. Um, even the fee that's been banded around is not exactly astronomical. I've been told that he's going to get like 1 million, and in terms of Premier League managers, that's probably like the lowest rung. But obviously, it's the whole draw of coming back home and managing in the Premier League and managing your Premier League side or beloved club. So yeah, gutted if you're a, or not even if you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan, because from I was literally speaking to a Sheffield Wednesday fan today at work, and yeah, they just feel like they've been hard done by. They've done a lot in terms of give him an opportunity, give him a job, which can't be said for like a lot of managers in and out of the game. Also, dealing with family bereavement as well. They've given him time off, I believe, and to yet then stab them in the back and resign, which could possibly do them out of getting any compensation. I'm sure they will eventually, which rightfully so they should do, because if that happened to us, I'd be pissed off as well. Um, they get treated like this. So yeah, I don't think Sheffield Wednesday fans are too pleased to say the least, and to be honest, neither are Newcastle United fans, if I'm honest. Um, but yeah, it looks like he's done that to push through a deal. Moving on to the second piece of news, which is good and bad in a way. Joselu has moved on to Alaves now, signed a 3-year deal with the Spanish side. I think he scored like 7 goals in 52 games. So not the greatest of returns. I think we've only managed to get half of what we paid for him. I think we spent like £5 million on him, and then ended up getting 2.5 mil for the 29-year-old. I think so. In a way, it's good. I don't think anyone would begrudge him going back home, and he's not exactly a striker that's pulling out trees, but in fact, it's left us in a very, very desperate situation where we're looking for strikers, we're looking for goals. And to be honest with you, with Joselu, you're not going to be saying, yeah, he's one for goals, but again, he's a recognised striker, and he's now at the door, which now leaves what Gale, Sorensen, who's a youth team player, and Mutu. Although you know, none of them really strike out to me that I can put my hat on them scoring 20 goals a season. So it's going to be an interesting one to say the least. Obviously, well, I'm not. No, cut the obviously. I hope we would recruit, whether it's Bruce in charge or someone else in charge. I hope we get at least a striker. In fact, we probably need two or three. Because the next piece of news that I'm going to lead on to is another piece of damning news. And obviously, he wasn't our player, but he was all but our player. Rondon looks like he's now going to link back up with Rafa. Rafa's finally going to get his man, and he's going to head over to China. I think they've met the release clause, which was deemed around £60.5 million. Chump change to these Chinese clubs nowadays because they've got money to burn. And I'm sure with Rafa's negotiation skills, part of the reason of him going over there is for them to be ambitious and sign the players that he wants. And he said that I've worked, well, just paraphrasing here, but he's worked with Ronda for at least a year now. I've been tracking him for probably for longer, and he wants to leave, and I'm sure he'll be on a fair crack. So yeah, it's not been the best of news for Newcastle United fans. Potentially, our next manager's resigned, and it just shows in terms of loyalty. It doesn't show. It doesn't show the best of. It doesn't do too well because even the previous week just gone, he was in charge of Sheffield Wednesday's or one of their preseason friendlies. A fan approached him on the pitch, said his words, and you know after that he's had an interview pretty much saying that it's up to the hands of the powers that be, and now he's taken the powers into his own hands, or probably been advised to say, look, resign now, and we'll sort out the rest. And it doesn't really look, yeah. we're not looked upon in the best lights anyway. You know, in other sets of fans. I know other fans may sympathise with us, but at the same time, some fans don't like the way we go on, and with those sort of things there, it's almost like we've instigated that, the fact that we've showed that interest in a manager who's already at a club, when there's plenty of other good managers, including Rafa, that we could have chosen from. So I'm sure that's not going to leave us in any good light in terms of Sheffield Wednesday fans. But if there's any Sheffield Wednesday fans watching this, please do not think that we wanted this. We did not want this situation. You can speak to any Newcastle United fan up and down the country, all around the globe, and they would have happily had Rafa stay at the club, sign Rondon, keep Perez, and just build on a good season last season. But no, we're now in a situation where we lost our top goal scorer. We've lost Joselu, which is not a massive loss, but we've lost Rondon as well, who's now heading over to China. Rafa's obviously in China, and we're now taking Steve Bruce, whose loyalty doesn't really scream out to me. As I've said in previous videos and tweets before, he's managed clubs, rivals, Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United, Aston Villa, Birmingham, Sunderland, and now Newcastle. He goes and resigns after, the way that Sheffield Wednesday's owners have treated him. I mean, obviously I don't know the intricacies, but from the outside looking in, if someone's giving you garden leave or, time to recover after losing family members and then not too long afterwards resign just because, a bigger club's coming for you, albeit your hometown club, it doesn't bode too well. But yeah, it's just a bit of a piss take really from all points of view. And then obviously now we're just left very short up front in terms of striking options, which was still short even with Rondon and Perez up top, let alone no Rondon, no Perez, no Joselu. So I don't know. It's an interesting one. Going into the next couple of weeks now, I doubt we'll sign anyone before Wednesday, so we will be left with Gael Sorensen and Mutu against Wolves, who are Premier League opposition. So it'll be interesting to see how we fare without those three players. It'll be interesting to see how we line up. Obviously, Bruce won't come in time to kind of put his stamp on things, but it'll be interesting to see how we line up. And going forward from there. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because I don't know how to put a positive spin on this. Yes, we look like we're going to get a manager in soon, but at the same time, at what cost? At what cost are we getting Steve Bruce? Well, £1 million, that's the cost anyway. So, yeah. And in terms of fans, well, I might leave that one for another video. Although what I'm hearing is that there's still 13,000 seats available. So maybe people are starting to vote with their feet after all. Anyway, rambling on now, it's getting past the 8-minute mark, which is obviously good for YouTube views, but at the same time, I'm just waffling on, and to be honest, there's nothing positive to say, so I'll leave it there because it's time for my bed. I'll speak to you all soon. Keep it tuned.